Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the very first video on Ask Lala. You can call me Lala. Why Lala? Well, it's an alias and it resonates with me because it holds different meanings in different languages and cultures. पश्तो में लाला का अक्सर मतलब लिया जाता है बड़ा भाई की तरह in terms of respect and guidance. While I'm not anybody's बड़ा भाई, I do hope to offer that kind of supportive बड़ी बहन वाला perspective यहाँ पे उर्दू में Lala is a flower that reminds me of the beauty that can blossom from sharing knowledge and experiences and perspective again from a very sincere point of view. So that's why I chose the name Lala. So it's not my real name. I have chosen to stay anonymous, but I want this to be a space where we can have open conversation, sharing perspective without any kind of shame or judgment associated with it. It just gives me an opportunity to be as open as I can just because I'm an anonymous here. And I don't have to fear any judgment, neither my listeners, my viewers, or the people who will reach out to me with their questions, problems, whatever. So that would be the reason behind the channel. Now I know we already have Ask series conducted by Junaid Bhai, the Ask Ganji Swag channel. I listened to that show. I really like it. And I have actually reached out to him before I started this channel just to ask him if it's okay to have the same format. He's conducting an amazing series, and just I just want to give a women's perspective on different situations and questions. So that would be my take on the Ask series. Now, I don't want to keep the same format that he's running, so I would like to keep it different from his channel or from any other Ask channel. So, what I would do here is that I plan on sharing different short stories from my day to day life that I have personally experienced and that I've learned something from. I would like to share those. The reason behind sharing those would be just to offer some insight, maybe build some sort of awareness around different topics. Being from a desi household and desi background, I know there are things जो कि इंतहाई taboo समझी जाती हैं. We don't really talk about those things. If I have any insight on those things, I would like to share those. So that's how I would like to keep this series different from Junaid Bhai series. Alrighty. So why am I starting this now? I thought about starting an Ask channel quite some time ago actually, but I never just got around to it just because. अभी स्टार्ट करने का मकसद ये है. I think I realize this कि life, it just throws a lot at us, and sometimes just to get through things and to navigate a lot of things, we need to have we need to involve some learning from other people. Doesn't mean that you should not head on things with your own knowledge and your own experience, but sometimes I think it's good to get perspective, get the knowledge from other people. Right now I feel like I have some perspective which are worth sharing. I'm not that old, but I do have some very interesting experiences in my life, which have changed me for good, changed the people around me, allowed me to grow a lot personally, professionally, in every area of my life. And I think a lot of those are really worth sharing. One particular and biggest change of my life was to move across the world and settle in Canada. So, being a Pakistani female moving to a different country and starting a life there on your own, it actually is it's a pretty big deal, to be honest. Yeah, so this is why I think I do have experiences, I do have knowledge that can provide a lot of worthy knowledge to people, right? So before we dive into the main topic today, which I'm sure a lot of the people would be waiting for, let me just give you a little bit of background about myself. So just so you know who is behind the mic and why am I behind the mic, okay? So like I said, I moved to Canada a couple years ago from Pakistan. So all my education was actually completed in Pakistan. I have a background in engineering. I will not mention the institute where I completed it from, but it's one of the biggest institute in Pakistan. I completed that, and then I spent couple years working in IT and project management before I finally moved here. मेरी लिस्ट में प्रायोरिटी लिस्ट में ऑस्ट्रेलिया और कनाडा ही था. I would never consider moving to, like, actually, never say never. I had never considered early on moving to the Middle Eastern areas. I think जितने भी ये ममालिक जहाँ पे हम लोग रह रहे हैं, अमेरिका, कनाडा, यूके, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, all of these western countries, they do provide a lot of security, safety towards women. You can go to the parks and you can just walk around, you can ride your bike, nobody's ever gonna come and bother you with anything, which is beautiful. Nobody can stare at you. Like, you can straight up call police on someone if somebody's staring at you. So yeah, so when I was making these plans about immigration, Australia and Canada were my two options. The process itself, it's a whole thing, okay? Like, if you're coming from Pakistan, सिर्फ apply करने के लिए ही इतने steps हैं that it just becomes a challenge in itself, and it's rewarding. At the end, it is rewarding. So all the efforts that you'll put in, it will reward you in the end, okay? यहाँ आने के बाद मेरे जितने experiences हुए, लोगों से मिलने के, job के, general life experiences, they have changed me a lot. Like, I'm just not the person that moved here a few years ago. I have broadened my horizons. I have learned new things that I never thought I could ever do. It has tested my resilience. I had learned so much about adaptability and different cultures, and how you can be open to those cultures. You don't have to accept them. If you something you don't like, you can be open to them, and you will learn a lot of things from there too. It was not, I would not say it was a super easy journey for me. It was a very big transition. Like, I think right after moving here was a time that I had hit my rock bottom, and I was just I was just building my life from there. So I think it was necessary at the time. This is a huge part. This experience alone is a huge part of my journey, my life's journey. It's like being reborn, to be honest, and I'm not exaggerating. Like, this is big. So this movement, um this moving alone is one of the big reasons why I wanted to start this channel, share my insights, and just educate people on how you can move to Canada, how you can have a very successful, happy life here, and how you should actually involve with the existing community so you can learn about this culture here. डे डीन की मस्जिद बना के रहना, I don't find it healthy, or I just don't find it okay. Like, to be very honest, just my opinion, but just putting it out there. All right, so for today's main segment, now let's talk about immigrating to Canada. First of all, I'm just gonna share this disclaimer on the screen as well. Do remember, I'm just sharing this information based on my own experience, okay? And this is the research that I did for this episode when I'm recording it in April of 2025, okay? I am not an immigration lawyer or a licensed consultant. Just please be mindful about that. जितने भी इमिग्रेशन के रूल्स हैं वो कॉन्स्टेंटली चेंज हो रहे हैं पिछले कुछ साल से. सॉरी, आई मीन पिछले 1.5 साल से ऑलमोस्ट. Something has been going on, and the government of Canada has been changing the rules constantly. So as of April, this is a research as of April. But if you're watching it in a different month, please do your research. Refer to the official Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada website, the IRCC website. I will link that in the description. Please refer to that website for any updated news, okay? And you can also consider consulting with a licensed professional, to get a specific advice about your situation. Like I said, I am an engineer. I have an experience in Pakistan before I moved here. I will be sharing, I just moved here based on that, okay? I don't know if you are a doctor or a lawyer, I don't know, some other profession, it could be different. So, for any specific situation, consult a licensed professional and refer to the IRCC official website. All right, let's go from here. So, I think it's a known fact, Canada, one of the most popular destinations लोगों के लिए. The quality of life, यहाँ की जितनी diverse society है, दुनिया के हर जगह से लोग आपको यहाँ मिलेंगे, and very very friendly. I have personally not experienced anything bad. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, I hope it stays that way. There are economic opportunities. People say recently, a lot of the surveys, they say it's is not that good right now, especially because of the tariff situation, I guess. So, how can you actually make the move? I have a few options that I've researched. I will be reading out from here just so I provide you the right information. मैं कोशिश करूँगी बीच बीच में उर्दू में भी डिस्कस करूँ ताकि if somebody doesn't understand English, well, first of all you should, because if you're trying to move, sorry, but how would you even pass your IELTS exam if you don't understand English? But anyways, I'll try to translate a couple things here and there, but for the most part this is going to be, the whole thing is in English. Well, technically the whole video is in English anyway. So the first option I have here, which you can use, is express entry. This is the main system for the main option you can use for skilled workers. If you're an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, just refer to the website to see all the list of the skilled workers, please. But if you have one of those major skills, IT, software, blah blah, you can refer to this option here. So this manages the programs like the Federal Skilled Worker Program or the Canadian Experience Class. This is so the Canadian Experience Class is for those who are already working or studying in Canada. You can apply for this, the express entry. All right, and uh, and then we have the Federal Skilled Trades Program. So these three programs, they fall under the express entry. I had applied through Express Entry already. So I moved here on the Federal Skilled Worker Program here. So you can create an online profile. You can get points based on the factors like your age, education, your work experience, your language skills, English or French. We will talk about French more. You can test on the CRS system, or you can do the IELTS exam. IRCC, there are monthly draws, and if you are among the people who have scored the highest, you will get the invitation to apply for the permanent residence. Okay, so you don't have to come here on a work permit. Through express entry, you will get directly permanent residence. Okay, इस पे एक update है. Again, this is based off of April of 2025. Alright, Canada ने recently जो आपके CRS के points थे, specifically about having a job offer, वो remove कर दिए. उसकी बहुत सारी reasons हैं. I will not go into details for that, but those are removed. So now you have to, like, if you had a job offer, it doesn't do anything for you anymore. दूसरी इस पे अपडेट ये है कि कैटेगरी बेस्ड ड्रॉज उनका नंबर इंक्रीज कर दिया गया है. So basically the reason to do that is that they're targeting specific individuals with experience in specific fields. So the fields like healthcare, trade, STEM, education, or if you speak French. The last draw was actually on April 14th, and they were targeting the PNP candidates. So, PNP candidates, that is our next topic to discuss. PNP stands for Provincial Nominee Program. So, what happens in the Provincial Nominee or PNP program is that every province and territory within Canada has its own immigration program, and they attract people who they need for their economic needs. Okay, so let's say you are applying in British Columbia is one of the province in Canada. So what the PNP entry, sorry, what the PNP draw would do is, if they need, as an example, if they need more health workers, they will actually give you more score, and it's more likely that you will get invited by the province. So what happens is that when you get nominated or you get invited by the province, you get significant point boost. So you get like a 600 points in your application if you get nominated by the province. So these 600 points, they get added to your express entry profile. All right, so basically you're a candidate in both the profiles now, right? In express entry, and you're also going through the PNP system, and that technically it actually guarantees that you will get an invite to apply for the PR. So some PNP streams, they also operate outside of express entry. So let's say there are some provinces like British Columbia, like I mentioned, it's also called BC, Alberta, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Yukon, they have shifted or they're shifting away from the direct applications to using an expression of interest system. So when you submit a profile, you get ranked, and then you wait for an invitation from the province before you can actually formally apply for a nomination. Okay, so you have to keep an eye on specific provincial government sites now for the latest requirements and draws. First, the thing is that you have to refer to the IRCC website. Next is that if you are applying into PNP, you also have to refer to the province's website. So, for example, Alberta, they recently held draws, and they were mostly targeting the healthcare workers. Okay, if you are one of those people that the government needs right now, and you can go and check that out on the IRCC website, this is like highly likely that you will get an invite, especially if the province is also looking for those specific candidates. You will get it. All right, so the next one we have is family sponsorship. So if you already have family, you have a spouse, you can sponsor your spouse, children, parents, even grandparents. So for parents and grandparents, this is a program called PGP. This is right now paused for new application because there was a massive backlog of the applications that were submitted in 2024. So for 2025, they have paused this one. But family sponsorship is one option that you can utilize. Next, we have business immigration. This includes startup visa programs for entrepreneurs. So if you have innovative ideas and you already have support from designated Canadian organizations, you may be eligible to apply for this visa. A recent update that I found on this one was that the uh, like a recent court ruling it aimed to address the processing delays for some startup visa applicants. So if you had already submitted an application, you may be looking at getting an update on it soon. So fingers crossed on that one. The next one is called the caregiver program. Alrighty. So, under the caregiver program, basically, you come to the country and you work in the as a home care worker. So you could be working in an old home, or you could be working with children and babies, like in that category. But it's a care worker. So the new update on this one is that the pilot program, they are expected soon. They are potentially going to offer PR on arrival. So you land here and you get the PR for the home care workers. This is actually huge. I'm not sure actually, like Pakistanis, they have a certain mindset. Okay, हम मुंह बनाते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा. So if you see somebody who's old and they have just ruined their pants, you know what I mean. तो लोग मुंह बनाते हैं, ओ गंद कर दिया, ये कर दिया, वो कर दिया. So in that situation, I think यहाँ पे आप मुंह नहीं बना सकते हैं, ठीक है. This is your job, you have to do it. Nobody here, they would not take this lightly. If somebody made a complaint about you, these things, this is pretty sensitive, right? So like you have to be very patient with a lot of people if you are working under the caregiver program. Next we have is the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot and Atlantic Immigration Program. Wow, that's a long name. So this is designed to bring people to specific regions. Now this like specific regions, and it's like up north. Okay, this is, you're not coming into cities and you're not settling up in Toronto or Vancouver or Montreal, Calgary, Edmonton, whatever. You'll be living rural. Okay, and up north means बर्फ में, ठंड में. तो अगर वो आप बर्दाश्त कर सकते हैं, apply under this program. Just move here. uh, Personally, I don't think rural is that bad. I mean, you can have a farm or something, and it would be nice. It would be a nice slow life in a way. mm. I don't think if farm life is a slow life, there's too much to do there. Anyhow, next we have the francophone immigration. So francophone are the people who speak French. So at this time, the government is actually targeting, they have increased the targets and specific programs to attract these French speaking immigrants. And this is not in just in Quebec. So Quebec is one of the province. They are 83% French speakers. If you speak English, if you don't speak French, you're like an outcast, I guess. So this program, this one, the francophone immigration, this is basically they want people to move to Canada but not in Quebec. So move to Canada, we're French speaking, move to Alberta, move to British Columbia, move to Manitoba, other provinces but Quebec. Quebec have their own system, but we're not talking about that one. So this is another one. This is a, I think, and this there are a lot of high score if you do speak French. So this, I think, it's this is great. This is a great opportunity for anybody who speaks French. So fun fact, back in 2017 or 2018, while I was in Pakistan, I actually started learning French there. And at that point there was no plan of me moving to Canada. It was just in my head. It was just in my head, like I will one day move to Canada. I want to learn French because it's the second official language, so why not? So I took admission in the Allama Iqbal Open University, and there was a very good instructor there. Great notes and everything. I was doing fine until my midterm exam. Oh, and also it was like a distance learning and whatever. But we did have one class in the classroom in the university campus. I think it was once a week or once a month. I don't remember exactly. Like once a week, I think. I used to go there on Sundays. So I started learning that while I was still in Pakistan. So you can do that too. Like learn French. You should go check out the website and see how much proficient do you have to be to actually get score on the francophone program. But I think this is a great opportunity. Plus, you should always learn another language. I mean, come on. Okay, so these are the current programs that are being offered by the Canadian government right now for immigration. If you are eligible for one, if you think you can score good in any of these the programs that I mentioned, apply away. What are you waiting for? It's a great life here, especially if you are a woman from Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Iran, any of these countries. Please apply. I do feel deeply for the women. Yeah, I will talk about Pakistanis right now. Just I feel deeply for these women, man. I have great friends, amazing, talented friends, and they're unfortunately stuck in a country where they have zero opportunities. Yeah, so it hurts me every time I go to a mall. Every time I go to a craft store, I see these things and I'm like, oh, that one would like it, and this one, that one would use these things. I mean, it just hurts me, man. It just hurts me. The first time I was able to walk in a park, just take my blanket out there and just lie down in the park and just soak some sun. It's so liberating, man. And I really wish my peers, my friends, they can experience the same thing. People who I don't know, like I hope you all experience this. And not just those people who are living in Pakistan right now, people who actually live here in Canada. I mean, why do Desi women have this, not all, but like a lot of Desi women have this very miserable life while they're still they're here in this country, and they're living this very miserable life with abusive husbands and just people who just don't love them. Like I just feel sad for it. There's a group on Facebook, you should know which one, and I'm a part of it, and I keep reading these stories, and it makes me really sad. Like, you are in one of the most safest and the most beautiful country, and you just can't do the basicest of things. Like, it's not even a word, like the most basic of things on your own. You're not living a a happy life. It's just unfortunate, and it's so sad. So if you are a woman and you can apply for any of these visa options that I just mentioned, please do apply. Reach out to me if you need any help regarding thing. I can look things up. I will provide you the best that I can find on these topics. Again, please don't take my words as a pathar pe lakir. Please do your own research, okay? My word is not the final word. Okay, so just some a few general updates that I thought I would share about the immigration too. कनाडा ने अपनी जो टारगेट्स थे इमिग्रेशन के वो रिड्यूस किए हैं काफी ज्यादा काफी सिग्निफिकेंटली रिड्यूस किए हैं तो उसको देखते हुए there are less chances that people would get immigration easily as they used to get earlier. थोड़ा सा strong anti-immigrant sentiment भी है लोगों में. That's another thing to be wary about, I guess. And there's a big focus कि जो लोग already Canada में हैं on temporary visas, like they're on student visas or worker visas. They want to convert those to permanent residence first so that they can reduce the overall temporary residence because that actually take up a lot of number, I guess. There's an increased complexity and provincial shifts as well. So, like I mentioned, with PNP, they have moved to the EOI systems and they have reduced the allocations. So, for example, BC, British Columbia, they cut 50% of the 2025 nominations. I don't actually have the exact number how many they were giving earlier, but like 50% cut is a significant cut. And it's because most people actually do focus on the bigger cities, and the bigger cities are very crowded. So that could be one reason. Again, I'm not sure. I'm just saying. So provincial programs, they're becoming very competitive. People are trying to get more and more of the score from the provincial because it just makes it easier for them to get the permanent residence. So that's another thing. Then along with Alberta, BC, for example, they're also prioritizing the healthcare, entrepreneurs, and the high impact candidates. Look those up, see how you can fulfill those particular seats. If you're a doctor, what do you need to do to secure the required score so that you can get an invitation, right? For any policy changes, you should really be keeping an eye on the IRCC, especially if you are a student or you're planning to be an international student. Just please keep an eye on what is the study permit caps right now. The proof of funds has actually increased. It was already pretty high and now it has increased more. So that's another thing to look out for. For temporary workers, there is a very strict eligibility for spousal work permit. So early on, if you were a temporary worker, you could invite your spouse and then you can both apply for PR and whatnot. But now the eligibility criteria for the spousal work permit, it has been made much stricter so that people who should not be staying in the country can leave, right? So that's another thing. Processing times, they kind of vary. There used to be a huge backlog with the government of Canada. I think they worked on it quite a bit. But again, it depends on the program that you have applied in and where you apply from. So for right now, Pakistanis are in good terms with Canada, but you never know. Things are not going very well for Pakistanis anyway. So wherever you're applying from and which program you're applying in, that processing time would depend on that too. Then there is some backlog for already existing streams. So again, there is no final word on what would be your strict processing time. So you just have to check it out. All right, so now that we have talked about some streams and some programs in which you can apply and move to Canada, let's talk about some of the pros and cons. Yeah, there's always a positive and a negative about things, okay? So it does exist here as well. Okay, so with the pros, the high quality of life and safety, like I said, I wish all my friends, all the women in Pakistan, they at least get to experience the kind of safety and the quality of life that people can actually achieve here. It is so good. I know people in Pakistan, if you have a lot of money, you can have a good quality of life there, but can you really? It's just not safe. I don't think it's safe, no matter how rich you are. Anyways, so that's a pro. There's a high quality of life and safety here. The healthcare system is good. There can be long wait times and can be challenging. I personally don't find myself very happy with it, but it's free, so and it's good, I guess. The diversity in this country and the multicultural society that they have, it's just really good. You will find all the cultures, or I think almost all the cultures here, living here, like Arab, Chinese, Filipinos, Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshi. So like all the countries, basically the whole world actually lives in this country. A little bit of it. It's amazing, and just getting to meet all these different people from different countries and talking to them about their cultures and listening to their stories. Like I don't think there could be anything else that's better than that. So yeah, there's a lot of diversity and multiculturalism. If you are in healthcare, if you're in trades, if you're in tech, there are good opportunities there for sure. Canada believe me or not, is actually one of the most beautiful places I have visited so far. I actually visited Australia. It's very beautiful. It also has a lot of very dangerous animals, and it's very hot. The sunburn that I had there, I don't think I can ever experience that. But Canada is like super beautiful. It's really really beautiful. We have these lakes and these forests, beaches, mountains. Man, it's just incredibly beautiful. It's so beautiful. Really well maintained. People here respect your work life balance a lot. People are friendly in general, very inviting, very warm. It's just quite nice. It's very nice to be here. Now, with all these positive sides, we do have some negatives too. Okay, starting with the biggest one and the most concerning ones in last year or so is the high cost of living. So, housing in a lot of, not even like, I would not say big cities, even in the smaller cities, housing is actually, it's very expensive. Whether you are renting or you are making a purchase, it's very expensive. So housing is one of the high cost. Job market is pretty competitive, again, because there's a lot of very skilled immigrants here. If you're all fighting about for one job, it gets very very competitive. So another thing would be that you do have to actually get your international, like your foreign credentials, your education credentials converted to the Canadian credentials. That's one thing that's super important, and you do have to do it. Maybe we'll talk about it in a different video, but yeah, they don't usually accept your work experience from foreign countries. So you actually have to start a Canadian experience within Canada. So it could be as small of a job like working as a sales girl or a sales boy, or you can get a great job, who knows, but they will consider your job experience that is obtained in Canada. Okay, बाहर वाला consider नहीं करते. Winters can be harsh. So I personally, during my first year here, I think just सर्दी की वजह से, I think I like cried for like 2 3 times. It was just very cold, very cold. Like it उंगलियां आपकी दर्द करने लग जाएंगी, सख्त ऐसा ऐसी दर्द होती है जो आपको होता है यार मैं उतार के फेंक दूं, मुझे मतलब it was just intolerable. So 2 3 times I've cried because of the cold. So winters can be harsh. If you are in British Columbia, it would be okay. They don't really get snow there. Sometimes they get snow, but it's not as bad as other cities. But if you're in other parts of the city, most of them do get snow, and it can be bad. Immigration process can be long, complex, lengthy, and it's right now it's not as stable as it used to be. There's a lot of ongoing changes, so something to look out for, I guess. Now that they have reduced the overall targets for immigrants, just like the job market, the immigration market is also kind of tightened up. It's very competitive. So if you really are on the higher numbers, I think this will be worth it for you 100%. But it does impact the reducing number of immigrants, it does impact the overall immigration. So just giving my 2 cents on the immigration. Moving here, Canada, has changed my life. It is a wonderful experience. I absolutely love my life here, and I'm grateful to Allah Mia 1,000 times every single day that He gave me this opportunity to move here and build my life here. I just am, Allah Pak ka lakh lakh shukr that I was able to move out of Pakistan. And I really wish for a lot of women in Pakistan that they can make this move for themselves. While it is a wonderful opportunity, it still requires a lot of patience, a lot of research. You have to carefully prepare your documents, you have to carefully prepare your case and everything. You have to meet a lot of very specific criterias. So if you are actually serious about applying it, you are serious about moving, please keep yourself informed. Please check the IRCC website. That is your only truth. For any information that you need regarding immigration, your only truth is the IRCC website, nothing else. Go through it, understand what they're looking for, um, and also try to understand that they are changing things because of how the economy overall is right now. So just keeping yourself informed and up to date actually can help you a lot. And learn French. Okay, just learn French. Even if you're not applying, just learn another language, man. Just it's just good. Learn French. All right, so this was a little look at the Canadian immigration process. This is a complex topic, and this is just the all that I've talked about today is just like basically scratching the surface. It's not deep information. I did not go deep into it. This is just like basic information as of April 2025. But it's this is the updated information, so if anybody needs it, please go for it. I have ever since I moved here, I've received this only this one question: how do I move to Canada? So many times. In the beginning, I was just writing it down for whoever was asking me. Then I made a note. I just copy paste the same thing because it was just too much to write. Then I made a blog website and I posted a blog there. Like, please read that along with all the reference websites it's hyperlinked in the blog. I cannot share it here right now. Obviously, it will my identity will not remain anonymous anymore. But I shared all those information in there. But that's kind of dated at this point. So this video is of like 2025 April, the latest information that I could find, and I've just put it all out there. So, well, yeah, you know, I hope this helps someone who's looking to immigrate. Even if it's just one person, I would be super happy that I was able to provide the some for the good information to at least one person out there. This is the kind of discussion that I want to have here on askthelala. I am not a consultant, so I cannot give you very specific answers of your questions, but I'm here to answer any question. As per my knowledge, I would like to support people, give them the answers, especially women. I will especially support women here. Nothing against men, but the women in our country are miserable, man. That's a fact. You cannot go against that anyway. Anyhow, so yeah, this is if you have any questions, I would love to answer them, and I would love to share what I have learned overall in my life. Um, really hoping to provide some value out here, guide you like a sibling, no judgment, and I really hope that together, all of us, we get to see the beauty of the growth that comes with shared knowledge. There is no gatekeeping. Just ask and I'll respond in whatever capacity. In all the knowledge that I have, I am open here to provide that. What questions do you have about immigration, about life in Canada, or anything else that you're curious about, you want to know? Please leave them in the comments below, or you can also send me an email at askthelala@gmail.com. I will add the email in the description so that you can access it easily. Please do reach out. Let me know if this video has provided you any value, any information that you did not have earlier, any follow up questions. I'm open to it. Thank you so much for staying here. This is the first video. We'll try to experiment with the format, with the lighting. I know I said earlier that I will share one of the like in my these videos there will be a segment where I'll talk about something from my life, from my anything, any event. But today I just had the immigration related things, and I've added a couple little stories here and there. So next time I will add some other perspective, some other stories completely unrelated, as in unrelated to the questions, or so if you find this helpful or interesting, please consider subscribing, like the video, add a comment, share it with a friend. Thank you so much for tuning in to the first video. This is Lala signing off for now. I will see you again next week. Take care. Allah Hafiz. Fi aman Allah.